I used to think rich people had some secret formula that I didn't know about. Turns out, after studying their habits and implementing them myself, the secret isn't actually a secret at all. It's not about waking up at 4 a.m. or taking ice baths. It's about simple, consistent habits that compound over time. So in this video, I'm revealing 5 habits that wealthy people practice daily, habits that I've personally adopted that have completely transformed my relationship with money and success. They aren't the typical save more, spend less advice you've heard a million times. These are the psychological and behavioral shifts that I truly believe separate rich people from everyone else. Number 1, they act anyway. When I first started my YouTube channel, my inner voice was brutal. You're not qualified enough. There are people out there who have more years of experience than you. You're not a good talker. Who are you to give advice? That voice kept me from starting for months. And then, the same thing happened very recently. I was invited to a big event to speak, and the inner critic, which comes back regularly, came back again. You're probably going to embarrass yourself. You're going to mix up your words, make a fool out of yourself, and go blank again. There are people in the world who can do it better than you. But every wealthy person I've seen, spoken to, or studied has this ability to act despite their inner critic screaming at them. They have the ability to go ahead, do the thing, and tell themselves that they deserve it. The difference isn't that they don't have an inner critic. It's that they've learned to recognize it as just noise. Just knowing that everyone has this inner critic, but the difference is how you respond to it, has changed everything. Now, every time my inner critic starts talking, I literally think to myself, thanks for sharing, and then I do the thing anyway, not because I feel confident, but because I've learned that confidence comes after doing the thing, not before. Your inner critic wants to keep you safe, but safe rarely builds wealth. The next time you have an idea for a side business, want to invest in something new, or try a new idea, notice that voice inside you that's telling you all the reasons why it won't work and why you shouldn't start. Once it comes, thank it, and move forward anyway. Number 2. They realize the importance of obsession. In August 2022, I'd been working on my channel for about 7 months, and it was getting some views, maybe a few hundred, some comments here and there, but nothing really life-changing. Then, around September 2022, I became utterly obsessed. I mean, it was the only thing I thought about in the mornings before work, during my lunch breaks, when I got home in the evenings, and on Friday nights when there was a birthday or some other social plan. I'd always leave early so I could get a good night's sleep before waking up at 6 a.m. on Saturday to work on the channel all weekend. Those few months were probably the loneliest in my life. Not in terms of physical proximity, but in terms of people knowing what I was going through and actually understanding it. Well-meaning people in my life who wanted the best for me told me I needed balance, that I was going to regret working so hard, that I needed to remember to have fun and enjoy my life. They meant it because they cared for me. But you can't have anything big or different by doing the same thing you've always done or without being completely obsessed with the thing you want to do. To get from 0 to 1, there needs to be obsession. There's just no other way. To get from 1 to 10, sure, you can find balance, you can bring in other parts of your life. But it's just not possible when you're going from 0 to 1. You have to make sacrifices that only a few people are willing to do. Every person I know who's done something extraordinary has had a period where they've become completely obsessed with one thing. Not balanced, not well-rounded, just obsessed. So, have seasons of your life where you go all in on building something meaningful. That's where true wealth lies. The intersection of something you actually enjoy, something that has the potential to generate significant income, and something that aligns with your natural strengths. Once you find that sweet spot, go all in. Next, they question everything they've been taught about money. Why do we think it's normal to work for 40 years and then retire? Why do we accept that only certain people can build businesses? Why do we think that investing is risky, but having one income source isn't? Most people never question the money beliefs they grew up with. A lot of my beliefs included things like, you shouldn't talk about your finances with other people, you have to work in a job you don't enjoy if you want to make money and live a good life eventually, money doesn't grow on trees, and it's hard to make money. These beliefs keep you living in a certain way, even if it's not the life you want. It was only when I started questioning everything I knew that I was able to attach a different definition of money, one that fitted the life I wanted to create and what ultimately made me happy. It was one that led to me quitting my investment banking job, starting this channel where I openly talk about money and my financial situation, and finding ways to make money online, which, when I was working in a traditional job, I thought was just a lie. I thought anyone saying they were making money online was lying because I wasn't open-minded enough to realize there are other ways to create wealth that don't require following the traditional path. The money rules you grew up with probably don't fit your current life, and you have every right to question them. What if the opposite was true? What if there were different ways to think about money that you've never even considered? The start of a new life for yourself begins with a new mindset. They make money while they sleep. This one took me the longest to understand, but it's probably the most important. There is a fundamental difference between how most people think about earning money and how people who have a lot of wealth think about it. Most of us are taught that earning money requires our time and physical presence. You show up, you do the work, you get paid. But the people on the other side have figured out something completely different. They've learned how to decouple their time from their income. They find ways to make money even when they're not actively working, when they're sleeping, on holiday, or spending time with family. When I was working in banking, every dollar I earned required me to show up, work for it, ask for it, negotiate it. If I didn't work, I didn't get paid. That's a really limiting way to build wealth because you can never stop. You're essentially trapped in a cycle where your income has a ceiling, and there are only so many hours in a day, weeks in a year, and years you can work. The richest people build systems, create products, or invest their money to generate income without their constant involvement. For me, this involved creating content that could be watched millions of times after I made it once, building products that can be sold automatically online. You have to find ways to make money work for you, whether that's through starting a business or investing. They both have different levels of risk, but both can supplement your income and ultimately lead to making money without trading your time for it. By the way, if you're interested in creating a path to reach financial freedom, I have a boot camp coming up that will take you through everything you need to know to create that path in 6 weeks. Even if you feel intimidated by jargon, have never invested before, or have no idea where to start, the waitlist is currently open, and you can join through the link in the description below. Finally, they treat failure as data. I used to be terrified of failing at anything. If a presentation didn't go the way I wanted, I'd think about it and take it personally for weeks. When I failed at different businesses I tried, I thought, I'm just made for the corporate life through and through. I'm not an entrepreneur. Like most people, I wanted to avoid failure like it was going to kill me. But the richest and wealthiest people I know collect failures like they're collecting data points. Every wealthy person I've studied has failed at multiple things before they succeeded. The difference is how they process those failures. Instead of saying, I'm just terrible at this, they think, what can I learn from this, and take it into the next thing they try. Instead of thinking, I should give up, they think, what would I do differently next time? I'm starting to do this more and more now. Every time I want to create something and I'm scared it won't work, I just pluck up the courage and say, it's fine, I'm going to work it out, I'll figure out how to do it, and if it doesn't work, I'll learn the lessons for next time. This simple practice has completely changed how I view setbacks. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It is part of success. You want to understand this at a deep level. This mindset of treating everything as learning data is exactly why I'm super excited to talk about today's sponsor, Brilliant. Brilliant is an amazing online learning platform that makes learning fun and effective. Brilliant makes complex topics simple because you learn by doing, with thousands of interactive lessons on offer, ranging from math and data analysis to programming and AI. What I love about Brilliant is how it helps you develop a powerful learning habit in as little as 10 minutes a day. Plus, it makes it easy to learn while you're on the move. So whether you're doing a deep dive into a new topic or having a short practice session, you can learn on your phone right where you are. Brilliant recently launched a ton of new data science content, all of which uses real data to train you to see trends and make better informed decisions. Knowing how to read and understand data is one of the most important skills you can have in almost any industry. And what I love about the content on Brilliant is that you're learning the skill by working with real data sets from sources like Airbnb, Spotify, Starbucks, and more. So whether you're a student, a professional, or just someone who loves to learn, Brilliant has something to offer you. If you're ready to 10x your learning journey, you can try Brilliant completely free for a full 30 days at brilliant.org/nischa, also linked in the description, or by scanning the QR code on the screen right now. You can go through all the content completely free, and if you love it and want to continue, you can also get 20% off your annual subscription using the same link. Thank you so much, Brilliant, for sponsoring today's video.